Welcome to the Ankylosing Spondylitis Podcast, hosted by me, Jason Sacco. I'm a 35-year plus spondy looking to bring the community closer. I'll be reaching out to organizations, doctors, nutritionists, and anyone that I think can help increase our spondy quality of life. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Ankylosing Spondylitis Podcast. This is Jason Sacco, your host and your fellow Ankylosing Spondylitis warrior. A few housekeeping issues before I get this episode started. If you go out to my website, the Ankylosing Spondylitis Podcast.podbean.com, I'll have a link in the show notes. On the right-hand side is links. If you're looking for vitamins or great coffee, that's the spot to go, because in an earlier episode with Vinny Tortorich, where we talked about diet, those are products put out by Vinny. So I would appreciate it if you're in the market for those. Check them out. Look, anything you purchase does pay back a small affiliate commission to the show and helps to offset some of the costs. There is also a great booklet out there by Ricky White, who was in a previous episode about taking charge of your medical conditions. And there's a link to a CBD Pure Oil company that I think produces just some fantastic CBD oil. With that said, let's get into this week's episode. And, I've seen a lot about this going on, and something bothered me I saw on one of the forums the other day. Is a lady came on to express about her pain that she was dealing with, the issues she was feeling. And some people decided that was going to be a great time to jump on her and say either deal with it, or my pain's better than your pain, or whatever the final outcome was. And I said, the thing with ankylosing spondylitis is all of us get affected differently by it. So you never want to try to minimize anyone else's pain as being greater or worse than yours, because if they're in pain, they're in pain. And we all know that once it affects us, it's going to potentially have a way to either take us out for the day, month, whatever, depending on the flare. I've also seen some things coming up on the forums about how, I've been cured from this, I've been cured from that. There is no cure for ankylosing spondylitis. You can go in remission. You can have a long remission. You can work out and exercise, and if somebody has the financial resources to have professional chefs and gym coaches and all that kind of stuff, they could put this into remission big time for quite a while. But there is no cure. So anybody that comes on and tells you they got a cure and you can take, cinnamon dust and sprinkle it with fairy powder, that's not going to bring you a cure. So, but there are ways to manage it. And today what I wanted to cover was, I saw this article on WebMD, and I will have a link to it also in the show notes. And it was called 11 Tips for Living with Chronic Pain. I thought it was interesting. Some of them I really don't know anything about, but I'm going to interject or put my things I've done with these 11 items to help with pain. Number one was learn deep breathing or meditation to help you relax. One of the things that we want to look at, and for all of us with AS, deep breathing is a must, not just for relaxing, but because it can affect, the AS can affect your rib cage and make it harder for you to breathe. So the more deep breaths you take, the more you exercise that rib cage and keep it functioning and keep it so that it moves, the better you are in the long term. So definitely practice the deep breathing. And if it relaxes you, that's just a side bonus. I happen to get into transcendental meditation. Now, there's going to be a lot of thought about that, good, bad, whatever. There's plenty of meditation program options on YouTube for you to watch, and I'm not pushing transcendental meditation. And I took just the basic course on meditating. I did not go into any of the further stuff. I don't necessarily know if I believe or not believe, and that's a discussion for a later thing. Just want to say the meditation helps you focus, helps you clear your mind, along with the deep breathing. It's not, in my case, it doesn't reduce the pain. It doesn't eliminate the pain. But what it does, it kind of lets me focus and clear everything in my mind when I get up in the morning and at night when I meditate. It just kind of lets me clear and decompress. And again, then once I come out of the meditation process, I can deal with the pain directly because I've kind of left everything else off the table for that day. So try that. If you have kids at home, it can be a much harder process, but look into YouTube, and I'll try to find some good meditation videos and also some yoga options. I do a little bit of yoga. I think it's great for anybody with AS. Second was kind of, reduce stress in your life. We all know that stress can intensify the pain and bring on, for me, it brings on a lot of issues. Issues with my eyes, issues with a type of psoriatic arthritis in my hair, like a hair acne, I guess is the only simple way I can explain it. And it can be exacerbated by just lots of anxiety, lots of stress, being angry. So, and those are all, meditation might be able to help you with some of those as well. And then last but not least is the dreaded D word, depression. Depression can really affect us as AS people because of what we go through. It makes life at times very, very difficult. I know myself, there can be times when somebody offers or asks me if I want to do something, and at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm all gung-ho, let's do it. Well, then they say it's at 7 or 8 o'clock at night. By 7 or 8 o'clock at night, my AS has wiped me out, and I'm probably going to have to forego going to an event, especially if it's a very active event. And that is a depressing thing to deal with. That's, you feel like you've lost your life. If you have a significant other and they don't have a medical condition similar to AS or are lacking empathy, the depression can sneak in. So, reach out to those of us on the forum. Ask questions. Reach out independently to people. Get a therapist if needed. Do something to help combat depression, because that, to me, once you go down that dark hole, getting out is doable, but it's so hard, and I hate to see anybody in those type of situations. Third is, this one, boost chronic pain relief with natural endorphins from exercise. Some of us can exercise more than others. After 4 hip replacements and a fuse back, I can't exercise that much. But what I have done is when I'm watching TV, anytime a commercial comes on, I have to do at least 10 push-ups during that commercial break. And then I get back up, sit down, watch the show from, till the next commercial break. I find that I can do a lot more than 10, but 10 is the magic number. I have to do at least 10. That helps with arms, shoulders, and breathing. So, it doesn't have to be that you set yourself up to go run a marathon. I mean, if you can, great. But if it's something as simple as just get off the couch and do 10 push-ups, during commercial breaks. If you have kids at home, make it a game where everybody does the push-ups during a commercial break. Trust me, it's probably good for everybody. We definitely aren't getting enough exercise in this country. So try that off. It's a good way to start and see if that helps. If you have a local chronic pain support group, you might consider joining that. If you don't, become active in the forums that deal with ankylosing spondylitis and with chronic pain. And these tips really cross the board, whether you have ankylosing spondylitis or whether you have rheumatoid arthritis or any other type of disease that causes chronic pain. All of these items are applicable. If you have a support group, join. It can help combat the depression. Asking for help, we've all heard this before. This is somewhat cliche, but it's very true. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. And everybody that's got AS is strong. There's nothing weak about you. Our bodies might have dealt us a crappy hand, but mentally, people with AS are some of the strongest people. They just go through a lot. So, get out there, become involved with a group. If not, become involved online. And I hope to see you. Reach out to me. Let me know you're there. I'm on, I think, all the AS forums. If you smoke cigarettes, stop. It can hurt your lung capacity, which but I'm telling you, stop. It is a horrible, horrible habit. My dad, from a family issue, my dad is a lifelong smoker, and he just had esophageal cancer a few years ago and had his whole esophagus removed. He looked like a gutted deer when he came out of surgery. It was the most horrific thing I'd ever seen. Cigarettes are terrible. They kill your lungs, which affects your breathing capacity. Just stop. Now, on the flip side of that, I am a proponent of smoking weed if you can do that. If it's legal in your state. I'm not telling you to do anything illegal here. But if you have the option for medical or recreational marijuana in your state, then I would encourage you to take advantage of it. I would encourage you to either vape, go get yourself some CBD oil from, now that's not the THC component, it's just the CBD, but get that, mix it with a little emu oil, rub it on your hands, rub it on your knees, rub it on your hips, put some under your tongue, whatever is going to work for you. And just a couple hits off of marijuana cigarette, before you go to bed can help with sleeping. Lord knows I haven't talked to an AS person yet that doesn't have issues with sleeping. So try those out. I'd encourage you to it. That is the one area where you will hear me say smoke. If you want to Cheech and Chong it and live off of it all day long, I got no problem with that either. Do whatever makes you happy, but I do encourage the smoking of weed. So that's that. Number 7 is an interesting one. And I didn't realize this, but it's track your pain level and activities every day. So I went on to my iPhone and I went to the App Store, and there are a number of apps, pain tracking apps. If you have used one, I'd love to get some feedback from you on what you used and how you like it and why you like it. I don't have one, and I'd love to know what everybody's using if they use an app to track how their pain is on any given day. Number 8, learn biofeedback to decrease migraine and tension headache pain. Well, we're kind of talking about AS, but some of us do get headaches. I occasionally get them, but I found out it was more from my high blood pressure. When that lower digit is in the three digits, then you know, you got a problem. So mine's finally been brought down tremendously from the help of medication. But track when you're using your app, if that helps provide some biofeedback, for headache relief, power to you. Number 9 is the one that I really like, and that's get a massage. That's not chiropractic medicine. I'm not a believer in chiropractic. Again, if you are, great, but I'm not a believer in it. But I do like massage. I do like, since I have a fused back, I like a good massage where the person really works hard on my lower back to try and crack it. So if you like massage, you can afford massage, you have a location that does massages, I'd encourage you to get them. I think they're fantastic for anybody with AS. Number 10 is kind of one of those, eat a healthy diet if you're living with chronic pain. We know that. And again, on my previous issue, I talked with Vinny Tortorich, who does a no sugars, no grain diet. I'd encourage you to read his book, and I'll have another website from a person that makes meals using cookbook. She uses his ideas to create recipes for the no sugar, no grain. Anything that is processed, I would encourage you. Now I say this as I eat processed food myself, but I'm really trying to cut back. Anything that's processed is going to be generally garbage. I'm not telling you go gluten-free. I'm not telling you, anything specific except no sugars, no grains. I think that's got a lot of great ideas to it, and I look forward to having Vinny back on the show. So go ahead, watch your diet, track it maybe when you're in the chronic pain, see if you've eaten anything that triggers you to get worse. I, over the years, have developed a real bad reaction to pasta. Vegetable pasta, the shells that are made from vegetables are fine. I can eat those all day long, no problem. If I go to any type of a traditional pasta made with the wheat or, the semolina flour, I think it's semolina, it just tears me up and I can't deal with it. So I've had to switch to vegetable-based pasta, and things like gnocchi I can do without much of a problem. So that's something I found that I have to leave off. But other things, I do need to cut back on dairy products. But anyway, track it, fruits, vegetables, within reason, and see if any of that helps you. Last but not least is sometimes finding ways just to distract yourself. That could be talking with your kids. That could be talking with your spouse or significant other. It could be making a phone call to a friend that has AS where you both talk about something besides pain, or a friend without AS where you just talk about whatever hobbies you guys have. Go for a ride in a car. Go for a walk if you're able to. Whatever you can do that just might take your mind off the pain, I'd encourage you to do. I wish you good luck on doing that. And I have my own things I do. I might get my scooter out and go for a little ride around town. I might get in the car. If I'm having a bad back, I get in the car, and I'm lucky enough to have a car with heated seats. I'll kick those on until they roast me too much, but it helps loosen the back. Do some of the other things we talked about, like get a massage. Any of that just distracts you. We know with chronic pain that it's hard to take care of. It's getting harder because they have removed the access to opioids. So again, I would encourage you to look at CBD oil and weed if it's legal in your state. marijuana, cannabis, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, that's kind of the 11 things I came up with through this article, how I've dealt with some of them, how I've not dealt with some of them. And I really love to hear your feedback. If anybody's tracking their pain on a daily level using an app, please contact me and let me know what it is. If you like this show, please leave a review on Podbean. Man, I would really appreciate that. That helps others to find the show when you leave reviews. So I'd encourage you to do that. I would appreciate it if you do that. And if you have any questions, you can contact me through the website, or you can reach out to me at Jason, Jayson, .sacco, SACCO, @gmail.com. Thank you for listening. I hope you all have a great day and keep fighting the good fight with this AS. And I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.